Day 64 on the Florida Trail. I took yesterday off, so I'm now fresh and clean and rested up and raring to go. So let's see where this takes me today. Starting off with some oak trees again. That's always nice, but it sure is an overcast day. But there's not supposed to be any rain, and it's cool. It's like perfect. I will be getting out of the 3 Lakes district today. So it's been quite a few days walking through this management area. Now, scholars do not know how much time elapsed between each plague in Egypt, but they figure it was over months. At any rate, after the second plague of the frogs was done, Pharaoh hardened his heart, and he would not let the Israelites go and make sacrifices to God. So for the third plague, the Lord said to Moses, "Have Aaron stretch out his rod and strike the dust of the land so that there may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt." You will note that Moses and Aaron did not even approach Pharaoh this time. The Lord just had them do it. They aren't sure exactly what type of insect is referred to here, as lice could mean gnats, mosquitoes, or ticks. At any rate, all the dust particles in Egypt became living, annoying pests. And my goodness, do I know about annoying pests on this trail. The magicians tried to work their enchantments to bring lice, but they could not. So they said to Pharaoh, "This is the finger of God." This wasn't necessarily a statement of faith, but at least they acknowledged that the plague had divine origins. And so this points out that how often, when Jesus was on the earth, did his opponents among the Pharisees and even the demon-possessed testify to his supernatural powers? God has a way of unwittingly drawing truth out of those from whose natural inclination leads them to oppose it. But anyway, Pharaoh again hardened his heart. Well, that was maybe a half a mile road walk, and now back into the woods for a while. Boy, what? These are pink. You got a pink fungus going on, hey? Or is it a lichen? I don't know. For the fourth plague, God had Moses go to meet Pharaoh early in the morning. And when he comes out of the water, say, "Thus says the Lord, let my people go, that they might serve me. But if you do not let them go, I will send swarms of flies everywhere, in your houses, on the ground, but not in the land of Goshen." That's where the Hebrews lived. God would make a difference between his people and the Egyptians, and the plague would start tomorrow. Of course, Pharaoh didn't budge, so God sent thick swarms of flies into Pharaoh's house, in his servants' houses, and in all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, "Go, sacrifice to your God in the land." But then they argued that they needed to go 3 days' journey, or else the Egyptians might stone them when they sacrifice what is abominable to the Egyptians. You see, many animals were held sacred by the Egyptians, some universally and some only locally. By celebrating a great festival anywhere in Egypt, the Israelites would inevitably offend the religious sensibilities of their neighbors. This fact was so obvious that even Pharaoh did not attempt to refute this argument. He said, "Okay, I will let you go sacrifice to your God in the wilderness. Just don't go very far away, and intercede for me." Moses said he would, provided Pharaoh did not deal with him deceitfully anymore. So he entreated God, and the next day he removed the swarms of flies so that not one of them remained. The complete disappearance was just as supernatural as their sudden coming had been. But again, Pharaoh hardened his heart. What does it take for some people to learn to obey God? Why don't we learn that it is useless to fight against God? I pray that everyone watching this will be on the side of the Hebrews and let God fight their enemies for them. Walking in an endless expanse of openness for miles and miles. So Native Americans from long ago, I don't know if they still do it or not, but anyway, a really cool thing is their names, their defining characteristics, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, like Black Hawk and Sitting Bull and Brave Heart and Crazy Horse. And I actually do know a Métis, he calls himself Running Wolf. So maybe they'd still do it. Anyway, so the really neat tradition that I think is cool. Well, the long distance trail community also has what's called trail names. And I did not have one until now, obviously, because I've never hiked a long distance trail before. But so I've met a couple named Peanut Butter and Jelly, and I've met Grits and Tin Man and Captain Blue and Tag Along, just to name a few. Well, I belong to this Facebook group called the Florida Trail Hikers, and occasionally I would post pictures of me on the trail there, and one guy, well, more than one, well, a lot of people agreed with him, but one guy really ridiculed me for wearing a skirt on the trail. And yeah, like I said, people agreed with him. What? What's the big deal about that? Anyway, I met a couple just now, not long ago, that said, "Oh, I recognize you from the Facebook group about your skirt. It's your skirt. It's so cute." Well, at least she thinks it's cute. So anyway, I guess I'm noted for my skirt. So that's going to be my trail name now, Skirt. Unless you guys can think of a better name for me. And by the way, I quit that Facebook group because it took up too much of my feed. Yeah, I know I recommended them in the beginning, and they were helpful, but there are also some nasty people on there, and I just didn't want to burden myself with them. So anyway, I'm introducing you to Skirt. Godwin Hammock Campground. Gorgeous, because you got your woods and the prairie. Perfect combination, except there's no water. Very thick and lush in here. And some obstacles. Whoa. Fun jungle gym. See, here's a close-up of that pink stuff. Whatever it is, it's kind of cool. Whoa, came across this mini swamp, or a pond maybe, in the middle of nowhere. That was a 9.4 mile walk, and now I got quite a bike ride, I understand. It's on a really busy highway, the busiest that Florida Trail offers, so I'll see how much biking I actually can do. This is the Kissimmee River. I just crossed it. And yep, this highway was brutal. It's fine right now, but whew. The trail goes under the bridge. This is what I'm having to deal with. There's no end in sight. And And I have to get across this bridge. Oh boy. The crazy things I do on the Florida Trail. I had to hoist my bike over that gate. But now I've got a grassy pathway that I want to bike. See, you could technically call this a road. Okay, that's cool. There's buffalo over there. This is a ranch resort I'm going through here. Wow, very fun. You got teepees there that you can stay in, and then chuck wagons there. What a very cool ranch. Okay, now I'm entering Kiso Management Area. This looks fun. All right, I covered 20.3 miles today, and that's a good long day. Now, do you have any enemies in your life? I hope not, but if you do, why don't you pray for them? If people would pray for those that abuse them and let God do the punishing, what a better world we would live in. I'll see you tomorrow.